Yo, RX back with another and the final breakdown of the year, and that would be UFC 296 Edwards versus Covington. We back for the last breakdown of the year. Here we go. I'll cut right to the chase. I'm fucking excited for this card. Can't believe I've done a breakdown for every card this year. You can look. I'm pretty sure 50 plus cards. Every card has a breakdown. I'm pretty sure I stick to the schedule. Every one has came out at 1 p.m. on Friday EST. So this is the last one of the year. Let's enjoy it. Let's get it done. Let's head into a fight card. And what a card it is to end the year. It's not a fucking Apex card. It's not a fight night. A pay-per-view, one of the best pay-per-views of the year, if not maybe the best. Just has one of the best press conferences of the year, if not the best. And we're in store for, like I said, one of the best cards of the year. So let's do this shit, I guess. So I gotta fucking learn how to speak English. Stumbling over my words. Without further ado, the only thing that I have left to say before I get into the breakdown is please like, comment, subscribe. 50 subs was the goal by the end of the year. We ain't gonna hit that shit. 35? Whatever I end at, I'm not gonna complain. I'm grateful for every subscriber. And good vibes only and always, my friends. Let's break down some fights. I'm pretty sure I'm not forgetting to say anything, so let's get into it. 12 fights on a card. We started the week with 14. We've lost 2 fights. We lost Vicente Luque and Ian Gary. Gary had to fake an illness to not fight. His wife told him to fake an illness and not fight, so he was a good boy and did not fight. And today, only a few hours ago, we lost Randy Brown and Muslim Salikov. Randy Brown is actually sick, so that sucks. Hope he feels better. And yeah, only thing I'll say on either of these is why the fuck did UFC not book Luque and Kevin Holland? Holland said yes. Luque said yes. Why did you not do UFC? Shaking my fucking head. But enough on that. What we do have is 12 fights, and we begin with the early prelims in the heavyweight division, which is actually a shockingly good fight in the heavyweight division, as we have Shamil Gaziev versus Martin Buday. Let's start with the debutee, and I think the only debuting fighter on the card, Shamil Gaziev. Shamil is making his debut, as I said, coming off Contender Series where he looked pretty good. The little we did see of him, he looked fine. Went to the ground, got a submission, looked good. He's still very young to his career, only 11 fights. He is 33 years old, undefeated. I think he's the only fighter from Bahrain. If I said that wrong, my bad. But, yeah, he's representing somewhere by himself, being the only fighter in the UFC from there, I'm pretty sure. So, he has that on his back, and, yeah, not very much to say about Shamil. He seems like a pretty good prospect. Striking is good, power seems good, ground game's good. He's a very interesting prospect in the division. He's a little small for heavyweight, I believe. Yeah, I want to know he's 6'4". He just seems like a very small dude. I think he'll... how tall is Buday? Oh wow, they're the same height. I want to see at the face-offs tomorrow if that's true. I feel like that's kind of bullshit. Shamil seems like a little kind of short, but whatever. But yeah, the only thing about Shamil is his gas tank could be a little questionable. Because I remember that fight on Contender was only 2.5 minutes, but he was breathing pretty heavily by the time he was getting his hand raised. So I hope his gas tank ain't bad, because then this fight could be bad. But it was mainly grappling, and that's gonna really wear on your gas tank more. So I get it. So yeah, Shamil could be a really good prospect in heavyweight division, a division that needs any help it can get because it only has like 2 good fighters that actually fight. So, yeah, Shamil, welcome to UFC. To talk about his opponent, Martin Buday, who I swear I've broken down 700 fights of his. Buday in the UFC is 4-0, really should be 3-1. His 3 wins are Chris Barnett, Jake Collier, and Josh Persian. His 1 loss is to Lucas Brzeski. I know, whatever, that was a robbery. We all know it, so. But in his 3 wins, he crushed Chris Barnett, who's very small, so that's pretty easy. Just was better than Jake Collier and dominated Josh Persian. In that Parisian fight, he looked the best he ever has. He really did look, he looked like he had killer instinct in that fight. He looked very good. I know it's Josh Parisian, but still. Martin Buday lost to Lucas Brzeski, who should be cut from the UFC I think he did get cut. So, being able to smash Josh Persian is impressive, and actually getting a finish, because he was kind of a decision machine. So, Buday's not even a bad fighter, he's just not enjoyable to watch. He's very slow. His fighting style is put you up against a cage, grind you out. If we're in a strike, it's going to be very weak shots. He doesn't seem like a very powerful fighter. Like, if I remember, I don't even think did he drop Persian, or did he just take him down and sub him? I want to say he might have, knocked him down, but I swear all he did was take him down and Kimura him. But either way, it's Josh Persian. Buday does not seem like he's not even a bad fighter. He's just not entertaining. He's very boring. So his gas tank's not the greatest. By like the end of round 2, he will be gassed, if not even sooner. Like, again, he doesn't seem like very powerful. So he's not even. He's a very mid fighter. He reminds me of I don't know. He's just mid. He's not like a low level can like a Josh Persian, Jake Collier, Jared Vandera, but he's not like good enough to even be like a Alexandre Roman. Well, he might be Romanov, but to be like a heavyweight has so few good fighters. Pavlovich and Aspinall are the only good fighters who actually fucking fight. So, yeah, Buday's just not right. Never really, he impressed me with his last fight somewhat, but again, Parisian, and besides that, he's been very forgettable in the UFC. So, maybe he actually puts up a good performance here, because this is a pretty tough fight for him. I definitely think this is a very interesting fight. And I think one of these, I definitely think one of these two are going to get a big win here. So, yeah, not much more to say on Martin Buday. The betting answer is if I have Buday at -185 plus 155. I disagree completely. I would have this a pick'em. I'm having a few problems really picking this fight because I do think it's a kind of hard fight to pick. Buday isn't both guys' main weakness is their gas tank, and I think whoever wins this fight is going to be the guy who gasses last. Whoever gasses first is going to lose. Striking wise, I don't think either are that good at. I think it's mainly going to be a grappling wrestling match, because again, neither guy is that good of a striker. If I had to give a striking advantage, I'd probably give it to Shamil. He probably has more power. And if I had to give a wrestling advantage, I'm not sure. That would be, I'm interested to see who does win that, if they do that. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting fight. I don't think this is going to be your normal low-level heavyweight fight. I think we are going to get a finish here. I don't think we go 15 minutes. Hopefully, knock on wood, we don't, because if we do, it's going to be bad. They're not going to swing for 15 fucking minutes. So, yeah, not an easy fight to pick like most low-level heavyweight fights. I think Buday ranked, I think Buday was ranked at one point too, so that's interesting. But yeah, enough talk. Who is my pick? I'm leaning Shamil. I think he can have better work on the ground. I think he can gas. I think he'll gas later into the fight. He's a little lighter. They're about the same experience-wise. but I think he's hungry. I think he's especially opening up the card now. Buday, I think he's just like, I'm gonna go in there, do my normal fight, and go home with a win. Shamil is hungry for a win. He wants to impress in his debut. Just fought 2 months ago, and I think he's going to show up and show out in this fight. So I think I'm gonna go for the underdog here, Shamil Gaziev. I just have he's a weird feeling. One of the few fights I'm not biased for on the card, funny enough. And yeah, I'm gonna go Shamil Gaziev. I'm gonna say by TKO in a second. In my head, I see him getting a ground and pound finish, either from like side mount or something like that, back mount. That's what I think I see happening. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Shamil Gaziev by TKO in a second. That's what I feel. Yeah, I'm going Shamil Gaziev by TKO in a second. That's what I feel comfortable picking, and that's what I'm going to go with, so there you go. The second early prelim of the night is a fight that could easily be a banger, and probably will be a banger, because we have a fighter who only has bangers in the fight, so, and of course I'm talking about Andre Touchy Fili versus Lucas Almeida. Andre Fili fighting, you know it's banger time. And they're giving him a good dance partner for this, so let's see how this plays out. Let's talk about Touchy Fili. Andre Fili in the UFC is 10-9-1, been in the UFC for 10 fucking years. Not gonna go down his whole UFC career. I'll go over his last couple fights. I'll go over his last 3 fights. He got completely crushed by Joe Anderson Brito, but as time moves on, that looks a lot better. But like at the time it was like that didn't look too great, but now that we go, like, Brito's now almost ranked at this point, just beat JSP. That's looking pretty good. Then he beat Bilal Joe in a crazy war that's aging pretty well, and he had a very great close fight with Nathaniel Wood that could have went, kind of could have went either way. I thought that was a split. He always stays competitive in his fights most time. Like, what takes us out? Like, he went to war with Nathaniel Wood, and it was a banger, man. And that's all he does. All he does is have fucking bangers. So that's Andre Fili. He's gonna go in there, have fun, and see who wins. Fili is getting up there in age. He is 33, and we have seen his chin cracked before. All the wars will do that. But he's still looking good, man. Like I said, his last 2 fights, 2 fun wars with Wood and Algio, 2 pretty good fighters, and he's still kicking, man. 10 years later, still going. Hell, he debuted against Max Holloway. Could you ask for a tougher debut? Oh no, my bad. His second UFC fight was Max Holloway. Could you ask for a harder debut? I don't think so. And he's fought like everyone: Holloway, Yair, Cater, Lobov, Michael Johnson, Sadiq Yusuf, Charles Jourdain, Bryce Mitchell, Joanson Brito, Bill Algio, Nathaniel Wood. Like, he fights everyone, man, and that's just Fili. He's gonna go in there, go to war. His striking's good, his ground game is not bad, his cardio is pretty decent. He's just an entertaining fighter, and he's gonna put on a fun fight. To talk about his opponent, Lucas Almeida. Lucas in the UFC is 1-1, not coming off contender. He just lost. My bad. But in his UFC debut, I remember he stepped on a short notice against Michael Trezano and had a war. He did come out on top in that war. And then earlier this year, he had his second UFC fight against Pat Sabatini and got completely demolished. He just got out wrestled badly and took the L. Almeida's not far off from Fili. He wants that. He's gonna go in there, have a fun fight. He has no ground game, and I highly doubt this fight hits the ground. If it does, it's gonna be Fili doing the takedowns. Almeida seems to have decent power. He has good heart. That Trezano fight shows that Trezano fighting, like going to war with a dude like Trezano, who is a very tough fighter, does look pretty good. And yeah, Almeida's gonna go in there, be able to challenge Fili's heart. It's gonna be entertaining, man. Someone's gonna either go down or break, or we're gonna go 15 minutes. But yeah, Almeida's a very good dance partner for Fili, and I think the UFC knew what they're doing here. They just booked a banger. I think, especially on the early prelims, I think we're going to see some blood early. We're going to see a very great fight early. And it's going to be a fun one, man. The betting odds for this fight have Andre Fili minus 180 to plus 150. Yeah, I'd probably agree. I think Fili's a better fighter, more experienced fighter, longer reach. Like, power-wise, I'd probably give to Almeida. Fili's never been really known for power. Who can take a better punch? Probably Almeida. That's tough. Ground game, if we did hit the ground, I'd probably give it to Fili. This is going to be a good fight. Most likely it's just going to be a back and forth war. Someone might drop or it might go 15 minutes. We've seen Fili war. I just don't know. I'm shocked the Wood, like, that Nathaniel Wood fight, by the way, if you did not watch it, go watch it. How the fuck did that go 15 minutes of how fucking brutal that fight was? I remember them both getting dropped several times, so yeah, this is gonna be a battle of who has a bigger heart, and my pick here is gonna be Andre Fili. I think he's been in more wars. He knows more wars. The first time did not sound right. He's been able. He knows the feeling. Especially on a big pay-per-view, he's not gonna, like, Almeida's only been the Apex, so that's another thing. And I think Andre's gonna feel at home in a war, a little blood, gonna motivate him, and he's gonna get the W. So my pick here is gonna be Andre Fili. I think he's just able to be able to do better in this war, and I'm gonna go Fili by decision. I could see a finish, but I'm not gonna say it's very likely. So if a finish does happen, it's probably gonna be by Almeida, most likely. But you never know. Fili's a dog, and you never really know with him. So yeah, my pick here is gonna be Andre Fili by decision. I think I think by the end of those 15 minutes they're gonna be bloody and tired. But I think Fili will get his hand raised by the end of those 15 minutes. Andre Fili by decision. After that, we head to our final prelim. Only 3, since again we lost 2 fights. Boo. But I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet because I am very biased. The bias begins now for this card, and it doesn't get much better. As we go into our third fight tonight in the flyweight division, to end the early prelims, as we have Tagir Ulanbekov versus Cody Durden. Not gonna waste too much of your time. I'm going with Tagir Ulanbekov just cause fuck Cody Durden. Who do I actually think's gonna win this fight? I don't know. I think this fight's interesting. Tagir has had a very weird UFC career. Like, he's really not had that show out performance. Like, this was, like, good debut against Bruno Silva getting the win. Close by Val Nascimento, he might have lost. Close with Tim Elliott that I think he won. And then, yeah, you beat Nate Maness. He really needs to put on a good performance here, and we'll see if he does. Cody Durden, on the other hand, dude has really good. Cody really, like, it's kind of funny that he's from, I think, Covington, Georgia, or some shit. He does kind of fight like Colby. Really good cardio. He can go 15 minutes pretty easily. He did in his last fight. Last couple fights, he barely broke a sweat. His striking is getting better. I definitely think he could win this fight. I definitely think he's a really good dog pick, especially if Tagir starts to slow down late in the first, early in the second. I'd definitely put some live money on Durden. And the more I think about it, if I was not biased, I'd probably pick Cody Durden, because I definitely think he'll be able to, like, because this in a striking match, I think Durden wins. In a wrestling match, over time, I think Durden will win. I think Tagir will gas out over time and lose. But we'll see, man. Tagir's been off for a year, as he trained with Khabib and all those guys. I'm pretty sure that's correct. And yeah, I'm gonna go Tagir out of pure bias, because fuck Cody Durden, and I'm gonna go Tagir by decision. We'll see what happens. I think this fight could be good. But yeah, my first bias pick of many on this card is Tagir Ulanbekov by decision. There you go. Those are the early prelims. Pretty good early prelims when, like, I know it's only 3 fights, but you have a pretty good heavyweight prospect fight, an Andre Fili fight, which is going to be great, and a fight that could be decent. Especially, I'll mention Cody Durden coming off one of the best fights of 2023. Somehow. So, Yeah, 3 good early prelims, but now we head into a pretty crazy prelims. You have 2 fights that are pretty big, and then some decent. Yeah, like this whole card has big fights, especially when we hit the prelims here. It gets pretty crazy. So, enough talking about them separate as one. Let's talk about them separately as we begin the prelims. Oh boy, if you know me, you're probably skipping this fight 'cause you already know I'm biased as fuck. As we begin the prelims with a banger, a fight I cannot wait for, the fight I'm most hyped for on the card, and please, may God, don't fuck me over. We go into the first prelim of the night, the real main event, as we have King Casey O'Neal versus Ariane Lipsky, whatever. I'll keep it short and sweet. You already know who I'm picking. The person that follows me on Twitter. The person who is my tied for favorite fighter in UFC with Sugar Sean O'Malley. The person who's going to rule women's 125 one day. The person who's going to be a future champion and is going to make everyone bow down. Of course, I'm going with King Casey O'Neal to get the win, because she's the best fighter in that division. Give it time. She's getting that belt soon. Just a matter of time. 10-0, King Casey O'Neal getting the W. You already see my pick here. I'm going TKO in the second, just like she did to fucking Antonina and fucking Shana Dobson. Ground and pound, TKO in the second. King fucking Casey O'Neal. You already know it. Only minus 210, that should be minus 1,000. King Casey, baby. After that, we go to our second fight of the prelims. A really good fight in the bantamweight division. Perfect booking, not by the UFC, I'll talk about that in 1 second. But our second prelim of the night is a veteran battle in the bantamweight division between Cody No Love Garbrandt versus Brian Boom Kelleher. 10 out of 10 matchmaking. I say that I did not say by the UFC, because the UFC, I'm pretty sure, did not book this fight. The person who booked this fight won some like matchmaker thing on UFC.com, and this was the fight I heard they booked. And 10 out of 10, man. Like, knowing the UFC, they would have fed Cody to Raul Rosas or a prospect that we didn't, Cameron Simon, some shit like that. No one wanted to see that. I think this is perfect booking for Cody Garbrandt, and I'm proud of that dude. 10 out of 10 booking. But now let's talk about the fight, and let's begin with Cody Garbrandt, the former champ, the man who hit his prime in one night and then fell off a cliff. Cody Garbrandt, 8-5 in the UFC. We know his early UFC career, undefeated. Destroyed Dominic Cruz, one of the greatest performances in title fight history. Then he lost to E.P.O. Shaw, actor. He came back, beat Hassan Sao, then lost to Fob Kai in his flyweight debut. And then, in his last fight, he looked like he was back. Somehow, Cody Garbrandt 3.0? Like, he looked great. I know it's Trevin Jones, but still, he looked really good. He fought very calm, very smart, used takedowns very well, and he won a very boring but a very smart win for Cody. But how long can he stay as calm Cody? When does war mode come on? When does Cody just say fuck it and throw hands? Probably, I could see this fight against a very game veteran like Kelleher. Cody might just say, fuck it, war mode. 32 years old, 13-5. He wants to get back to that title. He wants to... Cody 3.0, can you do it? I'm happy Cody got a win his last fight. And Cody's one of the most interesting cases in UFC history. Again, because he hit his prime in one night and then died, pretty much. Like, so it's cool to see him getting back in a win column and all that, especially after like going on a pretty bad run. So hopefully he can continue this winning streak. And yeah, I think a lot of people are cheering for Cody at this point just because he's one of the weirdest cases in UFC history. So let's go, Cody. To talk about his opponent, Brian Kelleher. Been a while since the Kelleher fight. Middle of last year. I know he had some like really bad injuries that I remember almost made him retire or some shit. So it's good to see him back. Good veteran, 37 years old. 8-7 in the UFC. 2-fight skid, but took two amazing fighters, Umar Nurmagomedov and Mario Bautista. Can't get mad at that. Like in his last 5, he's 2-3, and if you look at his 3 losses, it's Ricky Simone, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Mario Bautista are 2 ranked dudes and 1 dude that could easily be ranked. So, and his 2 wins are 2 cans, but still, he's beating guys he should, and he's losing to guys he should lose to. So, yeah, Kelleher is a very fine fighter. His striking's decent, he has good power. His wrestling's okay, but he's getting old. Sorry about that. He's getting old, like I said, 37 years old, been off for a while. This is, again, even for him, I know it's like, this is good matchmaking for Cody, this is really good matchmaking for Kelleher. Fighting a dude who is not a young dude, 10 years younger than him, a dude who is in his 30s, dude who has been through wear and tear. So, this is really good booking overall, and it's for both guys, so good to see Kelleher back. He really needs this win. If he loses this, I could see him just retiring. Or maybe they cut him. I think he could he'd be a really good addition to like PFL. He'd go win whatever he wants there because he'd actually be a good fighter there. And yeah, I think this is gonna be a very interesting fight. I don't know if I see this going 15 minutes because of how these two fight and the power they have and their chins not being the strongest. This could be interesting. The betting odds for this fight of Cody Garbrandt minus 210 or 220 to plus 180. I disagree. I cannot have Cody Garbrandt that big of a favorite, and against a dude who has power and is a striker. He was not even that big of a favorite against Trevin Jones, right? Only like minus 180. Yeah, he's a smaller favorite against Trevin Jones. I would have Cody probably minus 150, 160. I think on paper he should win this fight. He's a faster fighter, probably more power, slicker striker, probably as good if not better on the ground. But that one weakness that has killed his career to an extent, his chin. His chin's fucking weak, and if it gets clipped too hard, which Kelleher has power, it's over. So, I'm interested to see how Cody does do here in this fight. If he does go for a wrestling game plan like the Trevin Jones fight, or if he does try to strike, how good does it go, and does he get KO'd, or does he get to KO? I'm not sure. I think it's going to be very interesting, and I'm excited. I'm always excited to see Cody fight. He's definitely a fighter I was a giant fan of at the time. I still like Cody. I'm always going to cheer for him, and yeah, not really much more to say. Who am I going with in this fight? I'm gonna go Cody Garbrandt. It's like, if you're picking Brian Kelleher, I 100% understand. I don't think that's a bad bet by any means. Again, it's Cody Garbrandt. Definitely one of the easier fighters to pick against, just because you know that chin is very glassy. So I don't know if that's a word, but still. But yeah, I'm gonna go Cody Garbrandt to win this fight. I think he'll be able to dodge the punches. I could see him doing a little like. Showing a little bit of young Cody for him, like ducking out the way, maybe a little taunting. I think he taunted Trevin a little bit, and maybe in a little wrestling. We'll see. But I'm gonna go with Cody Garbrandt by. I don't know why I don't see a decision in this fight. I see a finish. And I see a Cody Garbrandt knockout in the second. I can see Kelleher getting a little tired in the second, whiffing a lot of punches, especially being off for a year, like over a year, 37 years old. I can see him getting tired later in the fight, in the second, even the third. I can see Cody landing that big bomb that hurts him or even drops him completely. And Cody gets a W, so I'm going to go Cody Garbrandt by knockout in the second. I think, he gets his first win streak in what 6-7 fucking years. So I'm going Cody Garbrandt by knockout in a second. Does he still get? Well, he still got it, just his chin don't. So come on, Cody, get that win, bro. To go into our co-main of the prelims. A very good fight. I know a lot of people will look at this fight and look over, but I think this fight could be very entertaining. Two very good fighters, even though one did not show it in her last fight. I'll definitely get on her for that, like I did after the fight. But yeah, our second to last fight of the night, our last female fight of the night, and it's a good one as we head to the women's bantamweight division for Irene Aldana versus Karol Rosa. Let's start by talking about the fighter who publicly embarrassed herself in a title fight in her last fight, and that being Irene Aldana. Oh, Irene in the UFC is 7-5, and I have to start by talking about her last fight. What the fuck happened? She, for literally 25 minutes, she threw one punch. In round 1, it landed cleanly, and she stopped fighting. It's one of the weirdest fucking performances I've ever fucking seen in my life. I've never seen someone just shut down in a fight. Like, she gave up. She mentally fucking quit. And she wasn't doing, she threw one punch and quit. It's the most annoying, one of the most annoying performances I've ever seen by a fighter. It rivals William Knight against fucking Marcin Brachniel. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Just leave the cage if you're not gonna fight. Fuck. So I get she was fighting Nunes, but Nunes is a beatable fighter. And again, if you look at the one punch Irene did throw, she landed cleanly on Nunes' jaw. And Irene is a great striker, a great boxer. She has power. I don't get why she just mentally quit. Like, after throwing the best punch of the fight. Fucking weird. Like, if you look at her other fights, destroying Yana Santos, beating Macy Chassan, even though she's kind of losing that fight, to be honest, ending Katlyn Vieira. Like, dude, she's a really good fighter, Judge. She shits the bed in big moments. Against Holly, she got dominated. Nunes, she quit. Very confusing. And she's getting up there in age. That title fight might have been her only one because she's 35 years old. She don't fight that consistently. And the division is pretty stacked up at the moment. She's going to be waiting a while to get a title shot. Even if she won this fight, she's probably not fighting anyone in the top 5. So she's kind of fucked herself if she wants a title shot. She better pray she has to step in and, like, she better pray she can win 1 or 2 fights and step in and fight someone next year or in a while. Like, so, I like Irene, one of my favorite female fighters, but fuck, man, that New Year's performance is frustrating as shit. When she's not even a bad fighter. Fuck. To talk about her opponent, Karol Rosa. Karol in the UFC is 6-2. Her wins of Lara Fintz, Vanessa Mello, Jocelyn Edwards, Betch Kohea, Lena Landsberg, and Yana Santos. Her 2 losses are Sarah McMahon and Norma Dumont. Rosa at this point went from a really decent prospect to a very questionable fighter to now I think she's just a mid fighter. She's good. She can beat Yana Santos, Lena Landsberg, etc., but she's not gonna beat Norm Dumont, someone who's actually pretty good. So, yeah, her striking's good, her gas tank ain't great, her ground game's not good. She's just very average. She's only 28 years old, and she trained, like, her girlfriend's literally Denise Gomes, so you should be able to get your striking better. Like, but she's kind of just an average fighter. And Martin Buday, she's just a very average fighter. She's not a world beater, but she's not bad. She's a ranked level fighter for women's bantamweight. But yeah, she's just not very good. So she's a 15-11 ranked fighter. I don't think she's top 10. Is she top 10 in real life right now? No. But yeah, she's fine. She's not bad. She's just never been. She's never had that impressive performance, which doesn't help. Like, she's never really had that, like, wow performance. She has 6 decisions, and they're all, yeah, she dominated, or it was a close fight. Like, she dominated Yana. That was not a split by any means, but whatever. Yeah, it's just like, her best fight was Norm Dumont fight, and she looked good there. That was a very entertaining fight, but she's just not had that statement level performance, and she doesn't have that statement level win. So maybe this is it. The betting odds for this fight have Irene Aldana minus 210 to plus 175. No fucking chance in hell. Dude, I like Aldana. I picked out a pure bias against Nunez. There's no fucking way she should be minus 210 in this fight. How can you fucking put her at that after that Nunez fight? I can't. I put her minus 130, minus 140 being nice. That performance was so fucking bad, she has to redeem herself. She really has to redeem herself. Plus, she's 35 fucking years old. She's had some very underwhelming performances in her career. I'm not trying to shit on Irene. I'm a fan of Irene. I'm picking her. Fuck. But there's so many reasons I can give you why she's not minus 210. Especially on someone like Karol, who's, yes, she's not very great, but she could win this fight. And there's a world where Karol is able to just make it her fight, up against the cage, grind on Irene, fucking take her down and win. Irene's gas tank's not very good. They'll both be gassed in the third round. If not, her gas tank might last a little longer. But striking, Irene's better. If you throw in kicks, I guess Rosa can maybe even it up a little bit, because Irene really doesn't throw kicks from as I can recall, but striking, Irene does take it. Ground game, it's Rosa. Even Rosa not being a good ground fighter, she takes it, because Irene's terrible on the ground. So, Irene trained the fucking Diego Lopez and Alexa Grasso. How the fuck are you not good on the ground? So, I like Irene. I'm picking her to win this fight, but she should not be minus 210. I think Host is not a terrible dog pick. If she fought smart enough, she could easily win this fight. So, I hope Irene wins. She needs this win. If she loses this, it's fucking over, bruh. She's not Glove Teixeira. She ain't in her fucking prime at 40. So, I love Irene. I hope she gets the win here. I'm going Irene Aldana by decision. I don't think she finishes Rosa. Rosa's very tough. She is a good fighter. I think Irene's going to be in for a very tough fight. I see a split decision incoming. And I'm going Irene Aldana by decision. Show up, please, for more than 2 minutes. And throw more than one punch. Irene Aldana by decision. And to end the prelims, a fight that boosts up from the early prelims to the final prelim. It's a very decent fight in the light heavyweight division, as we have Atomic Alonzo Menifield versus Dustin the Jacoby. Decent fight, could end in many ways. Let's talk about Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo in the UFC is 7-3-1. His best wins: Paul Craig, and Jimmy Crute, pretty much. His losses: Devin Clark, OSP, and William Knight. Menifield's a very solid fighter. He's another one of those guys who are the few fighters I have named on this card. They're not great. They're not bad. They're mid fighters. He looked really good in his last couple fights. In his last 4 fights, he looked pretty decent. Destroying this clown. Killing Misha Serkinov. This was a very tough fight. And then he ended Jimmy Crute. In his last fight, he looked great. So, I definitely think Menifield's a decent fighter. Really good power, good striking. His gas tank does seem to be getting a little better. He can last a little longer, it seems. His wrestling's decent. He's a good fighter. He's very strong, but he is a very big dude, so his gas tank will drain. And yeah, he's decent. He's a decent fighter, and he can end it at any moment. He's good. He's good, but he's definitely, I don't think, a top 15. No, I don't think he's a top 10 dude. I think he'd be a top 15 dude, but I don't think top 10. So, especially with his corner, he only has one dude in his corner every fight. It's Pat Barry. That's not good. we've seen how stupid Pat is coaching Rose. He's going to fuck over Alonzo eventually. So, yeah. Alonzo's good. I like Alonzo, entertaining, and yeah, he's not bad. To talk about his opponent, Dustin Jacoby. Dustin in UFC is 7-4-1. Really is 8-3-1. His best wins. Let me get rid of these kickboxing. His best wins in the UFC, I would say Michael Olashechuk, Khalil Roundtree, and Kendian Zachaku. His only loss in the UFC, or one of, I'm not going to count his early UFC run, that's stupid. His only loss in the UFC is Azamat Murzakanov, which you can't get mad at. Azamat is great. Yeah, Jacoby's a very basic fighter. He's a kickboxer. He's a good striker, good kicks, gas tank's good, power's not bad, as showed in his last fight, beating Kendian Zachaku as he did. If he can get to kill, he's going to get to kill. And he's decent. His ground game is not great. But yeah, he's not bad. He's good. For a while, I called him like a very underrated fighter because he went on this long winning streak that he should have been ranked sooner. And then he ran to Khalil Roundtree, who he did beat, but they robbed him. There he ran into Azamat Murzakanov, which you can't get mad at. You can't get mad at Azamat's a great fighter. And then he crushed Kendian Zachaku as a big underdog. He was like, what? I thought he was a bigger underdog, but still, crushing Kendian Zachaku is impressive. No, yeah. Jacoby's good. He definitely got overlooked for a while, and now he's finally getting some respect, which is nice. He's a good fighter. The my answer for this fight have Dustin Jacoby minus 245 to plus 200. I would move Jacoby down a little bit. I would say more 210, 220. He should win this fight. He should be able to have a longer lasting gas tank. If not, his power is definitely a Menifield side. Like technique striking is Jacoby's. Ground game, probably Jacoby. Yeah, probably Jacoby's. Fucking. This fight can go a few ways. Either I can get a knockout. I could see like just a technical striking match that Jacoby wins a decision off of. I could see him like it's gonna be an interesting fight. I think it's a very interesting fight to break down. It could go many ways, and I'm interested to see which way it goes. Really good way to end the prelims. What way am I going with this? I'm going to go Dustin Jacoby. I do think he can and will win this fight. He should be able to fight smarter, not let his gas tank drain as much as Menifield, because we know Menifield, especially early, will be throwing those bombs from hell. So if Jacoby cannot get hit by them and not get put out or put down, he should be able to survive and win this fight. So I'm going Dustin Jacoby by decision. I think he'll be able to just fight smarter than Menifield and have a longer lasting gas tank. So yeah, Dustin Jacoby by decision. Gonna be a interesting fight down the prelims. Well, those are the prelims 43 minutes later, and one of the best prelims we've had in a while, if not all year, on paper. Like, on the prelims alone, you have a really good heavyweight prospect fight. Andre Fili, Casey fucking O'Neal, Cody Garbrandt, who's not even a featured prelim, Irene Aldana and Karol Rosa, Jacoby and Menifield, which could be a fucking fight night main event, or a co-main event, any day of the week for UFC. Dude, this is one of the best. Imagine if we still had fucking Muslim Zalikov and Randy Brown. Like, that would be the worst fight on the card, but still, it would be help. And we still had Bryce Mitchell and Josh Emmett on the prelims, which I'll talk about in a second. Holy fuck. But still great prelims, I can't wait. So, I think we're gonna get some finishes, and I'm excited. But now we move into this main card, and oh boy, what a main card it is. So, without further ado, let's break down this card, and let's start with the main card opener, since UFC is fucking stupid and wouldn't book Holland and Luque. We begin the main card with a very good fight between Josh CCO Emmett versus Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell. Bryce actually stepped in on short notice for Gio Chikadze, who pulled out last week, 2 weeks ago, and Bryce stepped in because he's Bryce Mitchell. He don't give a fuck. I still think this should have been Diego Lopez's fight with Josh Emmett. Everyone wanted Diego Lopez to step in, and I think that would have been way better. But whatever, we got Bryce Mitchell, and we all love Bryce Mitchell. So let's talk about this fight. Let's start by talking about Josh Emmett. Josh in the UFC is 9-4. In his last 5, yeah, he went on a nice winning streak, even if it was questionable. And then he lost to Yair in the interim title fight. Got beat up badly by Ilya, and he's already back after that fight, which I don't think's that good. And now he's fighting Bryce. Emmett really should retire. He's 38 years old, coming off one of the worst beatings we've seen at featherweight and in general. He just cannot hang with these, like, he's just not that good when it comes. He's very powerful, okay striker, ground game ain't great. Like, he has a lot of heart. His chin is fucking insane how much damage he can take. Like, dude, Ilya put work on him. How he never fucking went down and out in that fight, I don't know. But he went 15 minutes, he got, what, 50-43, 50-42 and shit. So, Emmett's tough. He's just not very good. And especially at 38 years old, man, this is his last chance. If he loses this, it's over. He has to just hang him up. And this is a very, I would say almost a favorable matchup to an extent for him. He can really win this fight. So if he loses this, especially in dominating fashion, it's over. So let's see what Josh Emmett can do, man. We know he has that power. His striking's not bad. That's about it. Talk about his opponent, Bryce Bible Mitchell. Bryce in the UFC is 7-1. His only loss is to Ilya. His other wins, that is good wins, Fili, Barboza, and Ige. We know what Bryce is going to do. He's going to go in there, shoot takedowns, and if he's winning the fight, he's going to wrestle you for 15 minutes. Simple as that. We know he has good gas tank. He has no fucking striking. But you don't need striking when you have the wrestling, when you got that farm strength. So, yeah, that Bible strength. So, yeah, man, Bryce is a very simple fighter. He's taking you down, or you're gonna beat him. Pretty simple. People say he lost that Ige fight. They're wrong, but people say that, so, whatever. The betting odds for this fight have Bryce Mitchell -175 to +140. I don't know. I'd move Bryce down a little bit to maybe a -140. This is a fight Emmett can win. If he can stuff the takedowns, he's a better striker than Bryce. So if he can land that big shot and hurt Bryce, or even drop him, I won't be shocked. Bryce is a very beatable fighter. If you can stop his takedowns and make him strike, you're gonna beat him. Like, yeah, and I know, well, if he's gotten better, A, he fought 2 months ago, and B, his striking was not better 2 months ago, it's not gonna be better. Let alone it's not going to be good enough to handle a dude like Emmett, who's not a terrible striker. So, this is a very winnable fight for Emmett and a very easily lost fight for Bryce. So, and I think this fight they both need to win. Emmett needs this to not retire or get cut. Bryce needs this to get in the top fucking 6 and prove that he is legit. Because that Ilya fight, he got killed. And the fucking Ige fight, he got dismantled on the feet, and then he had to just wrestle. So I think it's gonna be a very interesting fight. I think the betting odds are a little too big. I don't think Emmett's the worst dog in the world, but who am I going with in this fight? Of course I'm going Bryce Mitchell. You know I'm gonna go Bryce. I gotta pick Bryce. I'll always pick Bryce. It's Bryce, man. It's Bible. Bring out your fucking Bibles for Bryce. I'm going Bryce Mitchell by decision. I think he grinds out a decision. Maybe he loses round 1, gets dropped or some shit, but I can see a 29-28 Bryce. Yeah. I think he does Bryce Mitchell. Wrestle, win. Simple. Bryce Mitchell by decision. Oh boy, now it gets fucking insane. Here we go. The second fight of the main card. A fight that I swear to God, I've literally made jokes about them doing this fight before. Not in a video or anything, but like in general, I've made jokes about them booking this fight. They really fucking did it. motherfuckers. Our second fight of the main card. I'm not gonna waste much time on this because I'm biased, and we all know how this fight's gonna go. But we'll all be dreaming. Second fight of the main card. Tony El Kakui Ferguson versus Paddy Zabadi Pimple. Every fight fan walking this earth is cheering for Tony Ferguson. I am, you are, everyone is. Is Tony gonna win? Probably fucking not. I say it's a 95 to 5% chance that Tony wins. He's probably gonna get beat. And it fucking sucks that's gonna be this fucking idiot who ain't good at fighting in the slightest. So, and it's gonna suck to see Tony go out, because if he loses, so even if he wins, retire. I don't want to see Tony fight again after this, win, lose, or draw. Just fucking retire, bro. I'm gonna be cheering for him from this. He's one of the 3 people I already put a pick in for. The second this fight was announced, I put this in, man. Come on, Tony. We're all cheering for you. Everyone around the world is cheering for you. Win this fight, man. Please. Please. Get the W, Tony. We all love you, bro. Tony Ferguson is my pick. Always. After that, we head to a murder. To keep it blunt, we head to our third fight of the main card, and it's going to be bad for one of them. We know which one it is, as we have Shavkat Nomad Rakhmonov versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Oh boy, Wonderboy's gonna die. Do I really need to break down this fight? You know what's gonna happen. Wonderboy is getting fucking annihilated. How does he win this fight? He has no wrestling, so he can't do that. Do you really think at 40 he's gonna be able to strike that well with Shavkat? Power-wise, Shavkat wins. Striking Shavkat's better. Kicking, Wonderboy probably has him. But even then, that's your way of beating Shavkat? You're gonna kick him? Good fucking luck. Fucking 11 years younger. Dude, I feel bad for Wonderboy. They are fucking trying to kill him. And they're gonna succeed. So, I'm sorry, Wonderboy. This is gonna go really, really fucking bad for you. So, good luck. Gonna need it. My pick here is, of course, Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think he's going to do bad things to Wonderboy. And, yeah, I'm going Shavkat Rakhmonov by submission or knockout. I'm gonna say I'm feeling knockout. I'm feeling Shavkat Rakhmonov by knockout in the second. I think he's gonna let Wonderboy gas some, and then he's gonna hit the kill shot. So yeah, I'm going Shavkat by knockout in the second. Lock of the night, no less. I think we're gonna end this fight with Wonderboy down on the canvas, hurt badly. And does Wonderboy retire? Maybe. We'll see. Sorry, Wonderboy. It would be funny to see him win. Trust me, I kind of want him to win because it would be hilarious. But I definitely don't think that's gonna happen. Shavkat by annihilation, knockout in the second, maybe a submission. We'll see. Shavkat smash. And now we get to title time as we enter our co-main event of the evening. The UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. We have Alexandre the Cannibal Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. What a fight. What a rematch. This is going to be interesting. This could easily steal the show. Fight of the night. Don't be shocked. Not gonna really break down each fighter. You know who they are. Oh, let's see, where's the first fight? Pantoja, the champ, had one of the best fights of the year, if not the best fight of the year, with Brandon Moreno. Dude had that heart, got that dog in him. We know he's tough. Brandon Royval, we know he got that raw dog in him. Win, lose, or draw, he's going down fighting. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. Last fight, crushing Matheus Nicolau with a vicious knee. I call him 125 Tony, because he fucking fights like a psychopath. He's gonna make this a war one way or another. And his only losses in the UFC are to the two champs, Brandon and Pantoja. So I think that's kind of interesting. And yeah, man, Royval is ready to make this a war. Pantoja is ready for a war, a rematch of a fight from 2 years ago where Pantoja won by second round rear naked choke. Let's see what they can do, man. Let's see who wins, who walks off the belt, who puts on a show. This is going to be interesting. I'm excited. Do I have to have Pantoja minus 175 to plus 145? What were they got for the first fight? About the same. Yeah, I would have him about the same. I think this is going to be an interesting fight. Pantoja, very good fighter. Like, striking-wise, it's going to be close. Ground game, I think that's Pantoja's. But I would not count out Raw Dog, man. Like, I know people count out him because he already lost the first fight, blah, blah. He's a dog, man. You don't count out the Raw Dog because he is a dog. He is the dog. He's gonna bring a war, and we're gonna see who's hurt. Like, Pantoja's coming off a very brutal fight not that long ago. Royval took no fucking damage against Nicolau. It's gonna be interesting, man. I'm excited. Who am I going with? Am I a little biased? Yes. Do I care? Fuck no. My pick for this fight is and new UFC flyweight champion of the world, Raw Dog Royval. Yes, I'm biased. Yes, I don't care. Brandon Royval and new UFC flyweight champion. Why the fuck not? No offense, Pantoja, no one cares about you as champion. Good fighter, no one cares. We want the Raw Dog as champion. Give us Brandon Royval as champion. Come on, MMA gods. Come on, script writers, whatever you want to fucking pray to. Brandon Royval by decision is my pick. I think we're going to get a bloody war. I don't know if we're going to go to decision. I'm just going to go at the scapegoat pick. And I'm excited. Royval by decision. Let's do it. And fucking new. Oh boy, it gets even crazier. The last fight of 2023 for the UFC welterweight championship of the world. I'm not gonna waste your time. You know my pick if you know me. If you don't know me, then you're not gonna like me most likely because most people don't like this pick and I don't give a fuck. My pick is and new. Colby's getting his belt. America's champion. The people's champion. Our champion. The best welterweight in the world. The man who got robbed versus Usman twice. The best cardio in the UFC. His striking's getting better. He's been off for a year, getting ready. He's ready for his belt. He's getting his belt. Colby Chaos Covington's going to put on a Colby Chaos Covington masterclass and finally get his belt wrapped around his waist and save welterweight. Colby Covington, 50-44 unanimous mauling and fucking new. Sorry, Leon. Go cry in the car about it. No, go throw some water bottles. You're getting your fucking ass beat in America, motherfucker. And new USA, baby. Let's go. Boom. There's the card to go over my picks one last time. Shamil Gaziev by TKO in the second. Andre Fili by decision. Tagir Ulanbekov by decision. King Casey O'Neill by TKO in the second. Cody Garbrandt by knockout in the second. Irene Aldana by decision. Dustin Jacoby by decision. Bryce Mitchell by decision. Tony Ferguson by knockout in the first. Come on, baby. Shavkat Rakhmonov, my lock of the night, by knockout in the second. Brandon Royval and New by decision. And Colby Chaos Covington and fucking New by decision. Unanimous. You can't rob him. Give him his belt. There you go. The last breakdown of 2023 is done. Now it's time for some fights. I can't wait. A lot of feelings are going to be hurt by the end of this card. Leon fans are going to be crying in the car. But he's so mean. How could he win? He's so mean and he hurt my feelings. Boo-hoo, bitch. You can go cry after Patty fans. The three of them after Tony beats his ass. I'm kidding. The Tony fans will be crying. So everyone. I can't wait. We're gonna end 2023 with Tony losing to Patty Pimblett. Damn it! Shavkat ending Wonder Boy. Sorry, Wonder Boy. Royval hopefully getting his belt. And Colby Covington getting his belt. America's champion, motherfucker. Let's do this. And of course, the best fighter on the card, King Casey O'Neill, keeping her O forever. Fuck you. Let's go. One of the biggest cards of the year. So many big names, so many fan bases. So much shit's gonna happen before the fight, after the fight, during the fights. Oh, bro, it's gonna be interesting. The most interesting thing, the recap for this card will be very interesting if it goes the way it should. Oh my god, I'm gonna be the most toxic motherfucker alive. If it goes wrong, this is not gonna be a good recap. Oh man, this card's so interesting. I'm so excited. As much as I hate having so many people I'm a fan of on a card, at the same time I love it. I fucking love it. It makes it more interesting, I'm more hyped for it. God, I can't wait for this card. Yeah, I know you can't either. Anyone with a pulse can't wait for this fucking card. So let's get to it. But, enough talk. Only thing left to say now is you'll hear me recap this card Sunday 1 p.m. EST, most likely, depending on what happens. And yeah, unless we're gonna say something, as always, please like, comment, subscribe. I would say a sub goal. We won't fucking hit it at this point. I'll start that up again next year. And as always, unless I'm going to say something, comment wherever you want. Tell me your picks. Tell me why Colby's gonna smash Leon. Tell me why Tony's gonna beat Patty. Tell me why. Okay, I'm gonna get copyrighted. I'm kidding. Enough talk. Let's fight. And as always, RX out. Good vibes only and always.